Look, in light of any intro that we normally plan to do, we're just going to get straight into hammering the Sharks. Oh, welcome back to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by the good people at Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe everywhere you can. It's time to talk some black, white and blue, Dan.
It is, Terry. Now, we're going to do a little bit different this week.
We are. I haven't read the run
this is
sheet.
sight unseen. We usually lie about this, but this is legitimate this week and you can trust us.
That's because I can't read Dan's handwriting.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm going to hit you with a few things because I have some opinions. These are just some talking points. First of all, what are your thoughts of the Sharks' performance against Melbourne?
Is this an honesty or a therapy session?
No, this is honesty. I want to hear what you have to say.
In all honesty, I didn't think we were going to win when we went down there, right? So this is just... and I know you can draw back on, oh yeah, but we've already beat them down there. This is a different beast now that you're talking about with Melbourne. They have lost 4 games this year, 2 of them at home to Sutherland Shire teams. The first time we beat them, yes, we had no Nico, yes, we had no Trindle. They had no Hughes and Pappenhausen. Oh no, they had Hughes, they had no Pappenhausen and Munster. So both teams are kind of different.
Also wasn't a final.
Yeah. However, the main issue that I had with that game last night is we didn't play the game plan that we know that can trouble Melbourne.
Yes, fair.
We did not. You go back and watch that game where we beat them, and that was a power game up the middle that destroyed them.
Correct. And just adding to the list. Go on.
Saturday night, we tried to play flair. We tried to play expansive football. We tried to do all the things that Melbourne lap up.
Yeah, true.
We tried to beat them on the edges, when they've got a really good edge player in Sean Bloor and they've got a sensational edge player in Eli Katoa.
Yep.
We tried to beat them in the air when they have 2 wingers who are outstanding under the high ball. We did not give the ball to our big guys where we have the advantage. We did not give the ball to our centre where we have the advantage. Now, losing Jesse Ramian really hurt
big time.
in the game plan. I maintain Talakai did an admirable job because he wasn't burnt in defence.
Talakai was great.
But yeah, look, in all honesty, going down to Melbourne, I didn't expect to win. I think the scoreline got away from us in the end because we kept trying the short kick-off and we kept kicking it to Eli Katoa and he kept catching the ball. And then Jerome Hughes would go down the other end and he'd keep kicking the ball to Eli Katoa and he kept catching the ball and Harry Grant kept scoring. It was really annoying, that passage of play.
I pretty much agree with everything you said. Yeah. In terms of the result, I thought it was fait accompli. We went down there, we were always going to lose. I know people are going to bag on us, oh, where's your spirit? It's just reality.
Yeah.
Penrith and Melbourne are so far ahead, as we'll discuss later, of everyone else in the competition. I always said if we go down there and have a good performance, that's enough for me. Not only we perform particularly well, looking at it, whatever, it is what it is. I'm not happy with how they played.
There was a lot to like.
2 or 3.
There's a lot to like in the first half, especially how we ended the first half.
They didn't wave the white flag, which we've seen Cronulla do in the past. Look, there were some signs there that I'll say we will discuss in depth in Fins Up and in a little bit. But I thought, okay, the result not so good. Expected. The performance a little bit under what I wanted. I just want to be full of fit. I want to go back and I want to beat. Well, now the Cowboys, we know. I am willing to go on record as saying what I've been saying from the start of the year, that winning a finals game is a success this year. Because we go to Penrith, we get flogged, whatever, don't care. If you offer me 60-0 now, prelim, take it because it means you beat the Cowboys. If we lose to the Cowboys, this has been an unmitigated disaster and a failure of a season. Now, I know that's how important this one game is, and perhaps that's hyperbole, whatever. Going in, we said if we finish 8th and win a finals game, that is a success, and I stand by that finishing 4th. Moving on quickly, you and I have sat on this very couch and said we don't need to hear boo from Nicho Hynes this week or until grand final week, where they have to speak through threat of being fined. All we heard last week was Fitzgibbon, Hynes, McInnes saying we earn respect, we deserve respect. Someone said to me early, I care not for talking the talk, I want to see you walk the walk. I want Cronulla to shut up. Stop putting pressure on yourselves. I heard Nicho Hynes yesterday by the time this drops say, oh, we need fans, we need this. No, you need to go and you need to win a game of finals football. That's the only way people are going to shut up.
The most disappointing thing was we nearly got there. We nearly got there before the Melbourne game, before Hynes came out and said, we're a different team, blah, blah, blah. Then you go down and get flogged by Melbourne and it's not a different team, right? It's not. It really isn't. Straight after the game, and I don't know who went running to the media, but straight after the game, or not straight after, but like by 7:30, there was an article dropped or a tweet dropped by a Sydney Morning Herald journalist that said Cronulla have asked for the game to be played at Shark Park. So straight away we've run to the media, made ourselves look like a fool.
Yeah, it was dumb.
14,000 people at Shark Park is better than 15,000 people at Allianz. Shut up, don't play it out in the media, right? Then it's going to be taken to Combank, and then Cronulla have said we don't want to go to Combank because it's not a home ground, so we're going Allianz instead. I think we missed a trick here, and I said this in a group that you have decided to leave. But I said we missed a trick. I don't think we should have asked for the game to be played at Shark Park, and I don't think we should have asked for the game to be played at Allianz. Cogra.
Yeah.
We should have asked, or we could have been real dicks about it and gone and taken the game to Wollongong.
Yeah, there's as long as it's in the Sydney metropolitan area.
Yeah. Now Wollongong isn't.
Yeah, people were joking that we should take it to Perth, which I don't think you can do, but it's within our rights to ask. It's about the same chance as saying Shark Park. Yeah, look, I quickly jumped on that and had a lot of fun with it because it was never going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, we owned that stadium for 2 years. You might as well just go and do it again.
Yeah, exactly right. And we win there often. Now, whatever, it is what it is. A lot of what I've seen in the Facebook groups, my messages, your messages, etc., is that we need to move Nicho Hynes to fullback. Now, before you answer, because I know what your answer is going to be, there's going to be no changes this weekend unless there's an injury. Let's just forget that. Nothing's going to change. Given a full off season though, because I think we can both agree now that Will Kennedy probably isn't where he should be. Do you consider that?
No. If I was to put any player at fullback next year, it would be Daniel Atkinson.
Yep.
Who has played fullback for the Jets, who has played a bit of fullback for Melbourne, played a lot of fullback in the Q Cup, played a lot of fullback for us in New South Wales Cup as well before he got moved into the six. I don't think you can rely on Kay Dykes to be fit for a year, right? I am more than convinced now that he is only ever going to be a backup. He's going to be Daniel Atkinson of the future.
Yeah.
Okay. And I still think Liam Eisen, who will be 19 years old very soon, is about 2 years away and about 8 kilos away from.
He's too small.
He's probably the future 10-year fullback of the Sharks. Now, I'm glad that you brought Will Kennedy up because you've got Will Kennedy, right? And you want a better fullback. Everybody wants a top-class fullback. The Sydney Morning Herald released the top 10 highest paid players in each position in the competition, and Will Kennedy didn't feature there. And someone responded back to the journalist and said, do you know where Will Kennedy is? And he said he's about 16th.
Yeah.
So he's the lowest paid fullback in the competition. If you want an Adam Fanua-Blake, if you want a Nicho Hynes, if you want to keep Braden Trindle, if you want to upgrade Blake Brayley, if you want to keep Britt Nickera and Teague Wilton, something's got to give somewhere. Which is why I think it'd be smart to integrate Sam Stone Street and let one of the wingers walk.
Yep.
Which is why I'm glad we promoted Kaeliro into the team because you save a little bit of money there. One of the forwards is going to leave. We understand this situation here. But for all the players that we've just mentioned, the offset is Will Kennedy.
Yep.
Now, the offset can be Dan Atkinson because he's paid even less.
Yeah, true.
Now, you can extend him and give him a bit of a pay grade, but he'd probably still be paid less than Will Kennedy.
Yeah.
But you're not going to go and get $1 million fullback when you got $1 million halfback and $1 million prop coming. And Blake Brayley has elevated his game this year. It's really, I'm really happy to say it on the couch right now because I've bagged him for about 2 years. Yep. That he's elevated his game, he's going to get a pay rise. And if he plays this level next year behind a better forward pack, that pay rise is going to, it's probably going to be 200 grand more than it is. So I don't think Will Kennedy's the problem.
I somewhat agree. The fantasy of going and getting a top class fullback is just not going to happen. I think there are options there because I've been extremely high on Kennedy, but I was watching over the weekend and the difference in Scott Drinkwater, who kicks, in
Dylan Edwards.
Look, every fullback that played this weekend was better than Will Kennedy, right?
Except Connor Tracy.
Yeah, and we walked him, and I think we can happily say that was a good decision. Although he played well and good on him, I don't wish him any negativity. But there's better options within the club. We've got Satini Torkamo, who is a freak. Too young, but 2 years off. We got Liam Eisen, who should be playing flag. Freak, 2 years off. Do you walk Will Kennedy and say, hey, look, go to England and stick with your Dan Atkinsons and your Kay Dykes to get another year? Or do you say to a bloke who averages 200 and something metres and can bust tackles from everywhere and say, hey, Kale, you know how you used to play fullback? Go do that for an off-season. If it goes well, you name him. If not, you don't.
That was my next question.
Because Chris Viola is dominating people for lols in New South Wales Cup and simply has to play first grade next year. He can play fullback, but I don't think he's not as big and strong as Zero because he's a couple of years younger. You've got a ready-made fullback. You've got Sam Stone Street, who's taller and faster than anyone we've had for 10 years, legitimately. He scored 2 tries that were worldlies for Newtown yesterday. He's catching a cold out there otherwise because he's just too good for that grade. There are 3 options right there, better than Will Kennedy today.
Yeah, I don't see Sam Stone Street. I do see that there is the rejig that you could do. I've always thought... I think the problem with Ronaldo is he's bored. I wouldn't mind seeing him at fullback. The only problem with putting one of these guys at fullback is you lose the ball playing because you get the ball running. Yeah. Now, it doesn't hurt Penrith. Okay?
No, not at all.
Because Penrith have different beasts everywhere. But, yeah, look, I'm always up for upgrades and options. I'm not up for, like, nailing a dude for no reason. I think Will Kennedy's become an easy scapegoat. But you got to remember, like, he's won the club's player of the year before. Last year, like, it's a down year this year for him. Last year he had 14 tries and 14 try assists. So there is a really good player there in Will Kennedy, but you get what you pay. Right? It's not as if we're paying him, like if you were paying him Scott Drinkwater money and getting Will Kennedy performances, you'd be upset. But last year we were paying him Will Kennedy money and getting Scott Drinkwater performances.
The problem I have, and it's pretty obvious, is the inconsistency. So 2 problems. This weekend, everyone except Connor Tracy, fullbacks almost won games. Kalen Ponga was insane. Now, of course, he's a different beast. They don't have halves.
Yeah.
And they created more than we did over the weekend. We need something different, is what I'm saying. And if it's not Kailero and it's not Liam Ison, put Dan Atkinson there for a year and wait for Torkamo or Ison to be big enough and strong enough, or pray that Kay Dyson get fit, because they're all better options at this stage. Moving on, though, another negativity I saw is that we're 0-whatever with Craig Fitzgibbon as coach. Mm-hmm. Everyone's saying we're not going forward, and that we're re-signing the same players and we can expect the same garbage next year. I see credence in that argument, but there's no one better on the market. We've got Adam Fanua-Blake coming next year. We've got Stam Stone Street, we've got Kay Lero, we've got Jesse Colquhoun, we've got Kay Dykes, we've got Liam Ison. Those players are so close. So close. Chris Viola, Michael Gabriel tore up.
Now, just remember, some of the players that you've mentioned, Michael Gabriel, Liam Ison, Riley Pollard.
All Fitzgibbon gets.
These are guys that we have signed from other clubs. They're just not ready-made first graders. Now, one of the things that... Oh, sorry, I cut you off. Keep going.
I just want to stick up Fitzgibbon a little bit and say that I'm still seeing errors.
Yep.
And I'm seeing the afters of, we're really proud, we let ourselves down. Stop lying. Stop lying to us, stop lying to yourself. He doesn't believe that for 1 second. Go and see, we got outplayed, we were crap. Next week we're going to smash the Cowboys. That's all I wanted to hear. He's the man.
Yeah.
And we've got the players. We've overachieved this year is where I'm going with this. You cannot tell me, looking face to face, that we're the 4th best team in the competition. I think we're 6th or 7th best.
No.
We just won enough games.
I think we're the 4th best team in the competition this year because the rest of the competition is dross.
Yeah.
Like
Manly looking pretty good.
We just beat Manly by 20.
Yeah, but I have a huge... You can't put this into stats, which is weird, because people want stats. They want to quote stats, they run them into stats. So make up your friggin' minds. Manly last week, okay, home final, no turbo, Cronulla, yeah. Prelim, they go out and beat the Bulldogs, who had the world to play for. Completely different beast.
Yeah, even still looking at that game today, they would have been comfortable that Cronulla would have walked both of those teams.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
No, I hope I'm wrong there.
Yeah.
But
so
I'm just seeing too much hate for Fitzgibbon.
Yeah, what I will say about Craig Fitzgibbon is he has done really, really well in going out and getting the players for the future. Felix Fartili that we got from Redcliffe. Chris Viola, we got him from Newcastle. Yep. Michael Gabriel, we let Connor Tracy go. We got him. Now, Connor Tracy's done really well for the Dogs. Michael Gabriel is going to be a player for the future for us.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got Dylan Coutts. We got him from Manly. Yeah. So we've got all these good young players who are pushing. They're going to be pushing for the NRL in the next couple of years. The issue that I have with Craig Fitzgibbon is he hasn't gone out and just given the squad a little bit of a refresh. Okay? We've still pretty much got the same squad when he came in. The only noticeable signing is Oregon Kafusi. Yeah. Dan Atkinson now. Yeah,
big part players.
We haven't gone out and just turned over 2 or 3 players a year to build it. He's turning and saying, I'm happy with the squad, I'm happy with the pathways. And I know you say that there is no one good enough now off contract, but that wasn't right from 2022 going into 2023 and 2023 going into 2024. So I think he could have just been a little bit more aggressive in the market. My issue with the squad that we've re-signed is that Braden Hamlin-Uele, Royce Hunt, who is leaving, Oregon Kaufusi, Toby Rudolph, Tom Hazelton, Jack Williams, they're all the same player. Now, Adam Fanua-Blake's different, and do you know who's different to them as well? And we're not going to get him, but Regan Campbell-Gillard.
Yeah, I would be saying, hey, you remember how Hamlin-Uele, you wanted to go to
New Zealand?
Yeah.
But there's also, like, you know, Ryan Madison would be another one who would make this team really good. And you turn, oh yeah, but Parramatta came 15th or whatever. You throw Mitchell Moses in that team, they're probably 8th.
Yeah.
So the squad just needs a little bit of I'll give you the benefit of the doubt now. We're opening a premiership window, right? It's not completely open. It's opening right? Next year it's opening. He has to go and add 2 or 3 more players into it. And it's getting tricky because we've got a lot of players off contract. But
which I think is a good thing.
There's also a lot of dross off contract that you can just sweep to the side. So I think we need to add 3 or 4 external first grade, and not even to come straight into the top 17, but to actually put pressure on the top 17.
There needs to be a upgrade on Billy Burns. He's been very good for Newtown. But my final point, and sorry this has gone long, but it's our show, we can do what we want. There are the players there. Kayla is a year too late. He should have been integrated last year. Sam Stone Street should be lining up for the final this week. There is absolutely no one that convinced me otherwise. Jess Colquhoun would be in the squad if he didn't do his ACL. These players have been held back, and Fitzgibbon only picked them because he had to. I want to see a little bit of, Christopher Ellis really killing New South Wales Cup. We could have got a few games in there, but instead we played Dan Atkinson there.
So that's the thing that I had with New Zealand, that Warriors game. I defended Fitzgibbon saying that's probably not the game to do it because the emotional contrast of having Sean Johnson's last game. But I kind of think that maybe Fowler had played there.
We win.
But also, he would have been ready to, Jesse Ramian's out, cool, Chris, you could play. Now, I know you lose him for Newtown. Sharks are a little bit more important.
100%. And I'm the biggest Newtown fan in the world right now. But yes, that's exactly right. I think we're a little bit behind where we should be, but we're way ahead of what we probably are.
Yes.
So, look, a lot. Now, just quickly, you won't hear it from the Sharks official website, so you've got to follow at Southo Dan if you want your updates. New South Wales Cup fell 2 points short to the Bears, missed out on their grand final opportunity. We'll play Canberra next week at Campbelltown.
Who we just beat by 22 points.
Exactly right. So there's another prelim, there's an opportunity here. The Jersey Flag team beat the Red Hot Panthers as huge underdogs and now play the...
Not the Bulldogs. Bulldogs won by a point.
They did, no, we played
Canberra.
Play Canberra next week, the minor premiers.
Yeah.
So we're going to prelim there. The girls team lost their heartbreaker to Brisbane. There's a few things I want to say that I won't, but they choked that away. And now just need to beat the Tigers, who had an emotional... Well, they need to not lose to the Tigers by 20 points. They'll be in a prelim. Looks like we've got to travel to Brisbane, which ain't ideal, but we should have beaten them the other day. So we're looking pretty. Despite what the club will tell you, which is nothing, things are okay.
We have the opportunity. If we beat the Cowboys, we'll be the only club that made all 4 top-line prelims this year.
Insane.
Dan.
Talk to me, Terry.
Let's get into the NRL news, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think the grand final's set in stone.
I disagree.
No, you don't.
I thought it was set in stone 6 weeks ago. Yeah. Geez, those were some bludgeon major semi-finals.
Yeah. I tell you what's scary is that if Cronulla and the Roosters go and beat the Cowboys and Manly, and you just flip...
They're being served up. Oh, my word.
You just flip that. Those 2 teams are so far ahead.
They are.
Book your tickets now, Penrith fans.
It would be a travesty if they get... But it'd be hilarious.
It would be hilarious. Like, I would love nothing more than to see Cronulla and the Roosters in the grand final.
So good. Do you give the other teams a chance?
I give Manly a red hot crack at beating the Roosters because of the injuries that the Roosters have, and they've just lost their heads.
Yeah,
they've lost their heads.
Running around like a chicken with a head cut.
Yeah, I also give the Cowboys a good shot at beating Cronulla. Yeah, that game there is flip a coin, and I'm literally going to flip a coin that I don't have in my pocket when we get to Top Sport. We'll ask Siri.
So those are 50-50.
Yeah.
for a prize are getting bashed by the two teams that actually can win the title.
Well, this is the thing. Like, the Cowboys have just played an insane game against the Knights, right? They're up there in that humidity. And a great game.
Yeah.
That was a tremendous game, right? And we're going to talk about a certain player a little bit later on. And then your prize is you've got to fly to Sydney, and just say you beat the Sharks. Your reward for that is to stay in Sydney and get belted by Penrith.
A well-rested Penrith.
On the flip side of that, the Roosters, who are just injury crisis at the moment, they play Manly. Those two teams are going to rip the ever-living daylights out of each other. And your reward for that is you've got to fly down to Melbourne and get your ass kicked.
Yeah, you're going to get pantsed. It's the top two in the rest, as I think anyone who watched rugby league this year will attest. I'm trying to build the suspense that, if Cronulla get over them, nah. I'm trying to think, Manly are on a... Nah.
No.
Grand final set. It is what it is. Let's enjoy this fantastic rugby league.
What I will say will be the theatre of that grand final. Is the 2020 rematch, and you've got the dynasty could have started, and can Melbourne end it?
Yeah.
Or this is maybe the last year that Penrith have been good for a little while until they integrate some more mutants into their team. Will they get 4 in a row? That's the beauty of this.
There's plenty of storylines. Just the next 2 weeks, we're wasting everybody's time.
Look, this weekend is going to be the weekend for the purists.
Yep.
Because the 2 weekends after that are just going to be as it goes. You just know what's going to happen. So, the Bulldogs, what a season.
Great season.
You and I had them 12th.
Yep, I was going to say, we picked them way down there, and I'm happy to eat my words. I don't wish anybody other than the Tigers and the Dragons negative.
Their season changed the minute Cameron Ciraldo realised that Drew Hutchison is not a good footballer.
Yeah, which should have been several years ago.
Yeah.
But putting Toby Sexton in, just taking that little bit of pressure off Matt Burton. Now, look, we could sit here and go, the Iceman missed 2 opportunities. And I did have a bit of fun on that. Yeah, well, there you go. But look, that Dogs team finished way ahead of anyone gave them anyway.
Yeah.
And they had a tremendous season. The way they bowed out, okay, they were ahead and they probably should have won that game. They had, 3 players that played finals before? Or everyone that's been a Penrith, obviously, but more integrated. We saw Bronson Xerri, wilt just a little bit. Addo Carr he's got to write a public apology for the garbage he put that club through this week. I thought they did pretty damn
Although in saying that, I thought Gerald Skelton was awesome.
Skelton was fantastic. Probably worked out all right.
Yeah.
But people are jumping in going, the Bulldogs choked. Who cares?
Yeah.
They had no right to do what they did.
If you're sitting there saying, the Bulldogs choked, show me your pre-season prediction.
Yeah.
Show me your ladder prediction, because unless you had the Bulldogs in the top 8, then they've exceeded your expectations, just like they've exceeded our expectations, just like they've exceeded anybody's expectations. Go back and find Phil Gould's tweet from the beginning of the year that a Bulldogs fan dug up, that Phil Gould turned around and said, if we play finals this year, we're ahead of schedule.
Yeah, big time.
Right? So even he was saying that. I think he was putting out his expectations there as well. They had a fantastic season. I think Ciraldo has been the coach of the year. I don't think he's going to get it, because I think Bellamy's going to get it for finishing that far ahead of Penrith.
That's fair.
But I think Ciraldo has answered his critics very well, because he's made some decisions that were his. He put Bronson Xerri in the team when he saw a weakness in the centres.
Yep.
He took Drew Hutchison out of the team and just said, you are absolute steaming hot garbage. Toby Sexton, you need to come in there and you need to play football. And I think right now the Titans are going to be looking at that going, holy crap, why?
We made an error
We
there.
made a serious error. Yeah. And from that, you saw glimpses of Matt Burton being an outstanding number 6.
Yeah.
So, great season from them. Viliami Kikau was sensational. Jacob Preston was sensational.
Jacob
Kiraz was sensational. Josh Cohen was really good. Reid Marnie needs to get punched in the mouth really quickly, but he was awesome.
How good is he though? Yeah.
I mean, you hate him, right? But I'm telling you, if Cronulla signed him, I'd love him.
Yeah, exactly. Right. They're probably a prop and a fullback short of a genuine team.
They're probably a prop and a halfback.
There's a bit there, but I'm stoked for them. And don't get me wrong, there was a lot of, if they lose, wouldn't it be funny? But it's also
It was funny.
Yeah, but they made the finals.
And that's the thing. No one had Manly in their top 8 either.
No.
And they were awesome.
So
great season.
Just be quiet and enjoy people enjoying football. Speaking of enjoyment, one of your boys, your favourites, the headgeared Prince, Callum Ponga.
Yes.
Had a wow of a game on Saturday night.
I honestly will look you through my Cyclops glasses and tell you that is the best performance I've ever seen from a losing player in a finals game.
It's pretty damn good.
He was awesome. Now, that final pass to Dane Gagai is going to haunt him because if he just turned his head, Tyson Gamble's in under the post.
Now, who's to say that they don't lose anyways? They probably don't, though.
They probably don't.
But the reason they were in that game or in the finals because Callum Ponga,
is because of him.
Because you cannot look me in the eyes and say, geez, Newcastle have good halves and a halfback and a hooker. They hooked their halfback with 7 minutes to go, which says everything about Phoenix Crossland, who I thought played pretty damn well.
Well, no, see, Crossland was playing hooker because Brayley was off.
Yeah, and then they took him off and left Gamble on. They don't have a halves combination.
Yeah, Phoenix Crossland had tackled himself to a standstill, had run himself into the ground, was absolutely gassed. He deserved it, and they scored a try through him.
Yeah,
they scored a pretty weak try through him. So,
but you look at that squad, and okay, they were Mr. Bradman Bass, which sucks. He's fantastic. But Dylan Lucas did exceptionally well. But it's the Kalen Ponga show.
Yeah, it is.
Which is what I wrote a couple of weeks ago. He's the ultimate in or out player.
Yeah.
Because if he gets injured, you're screwed.
Yeah.
But if he's on, he can almost single-handedly win you a game away from home as a huge underdog.
And you got to remember the times when we had Luke Lewis at the Sharks, who used to just make it a mission to go and belt him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. And he would literally try and take his head off his shoulders, which is the greatest compliment you can give someone. Props to Ponga.
I thought he was awesome, and he's becoming more and more one of my favourite players that doesn't play for Cronulla.
Big question. Do you think he jumps Tedesco for Australia? Because I heard Dylan Edwards will make himself unavailable for the Kangaroos.
Well, I think if Edwards makes himself unavailable, I think Teddy's going to play. Meninga will just go with the tried and tested.
Yeah, well, I think Tedesco's going to Dally M because the way they ridiculously name it. I don't think he deserves it. I think Jerome Hughes deserves it. But I think he's going to win it. So I think he'll be there. And look, Reece Walsh is going to be there or thereabouts. I'd be going Ponga over Walsh.
Yeah.
Just a personal preference. But yeah, that's one we can talk about.
Now, speaking of Newcastle, Leo Thompson, right? He had a play. He had a moment in the game. Now, you and I were talking about this off camera. You're down 22-16 with 3 minutes to go. The Cowboys are bringing their ball out of the line. If you just make 5 random tackles, the Cowboys are just going to choke you out of the game. They're going to kick the ball down the other end of the field and they're going to make you ruck it out. Yep. Leo Thompson had the option. He had to put a big shot on.
He did.
If he times that correctly, Kyle Feldt drops the ball. Newcastle put themselves in with a chance. He didn't time it properly. He should have been sent off. If there was 15 minutes to go in the game, he is sent off.
Kyle Feldt played that perfectly.
Yeah.
He saw it coming, he tried to duck. Not saying he ducked into it for a second.
No.
He used just self-preservation.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my head's coming off here.
Yeah, because if he stayed upright, he gets
he
flogged.
gets belted and he either loses the ball
or his life.
Loses consciousness. Yeah. It was a great shot gone wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. He had to have it.
Someone from Newcastle had to do something off the ball because when they had the ball, it was just like give it to Ponga, thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Without the ball, Scott Drinkwater, Dearden, Jake Clifford and Reece Robson were just doing 5 hit-ups, kicking the ball down the other end of the field. Thompson tried to make a play, and he knew it went wrong, and he went to walk away. Yeah. Got pushed in the back, probably deserved it, gets his time in the bin. But I saw a lot of backlash from him going, that was a stupid play, No, it wasn't. He had to try it.
It was a rash play.
Yeah. He's going to cop a fine. I think he's going to get fined $3,000, take it and play round one. He's probably going to line
up for the Kiwis.
Yeah.
He was awesome. Or whoever he makes himself available for. Yeah, good on him. Good shot. Just went a little bit wrong. Right.
Time for an argument. The Dally M team of the year.
Yeah.
I think most of ours are going to be similar, on par. But, let's go.
Fullback, James Tedesco. Wings.
Alofi Khan Pereira.
Yep, undisputed.
Kyle Feldt.
Jacob Kiraz.
I'll hear a shout, but it's wrong.
Yep.
And just like Zach Lomax is wrong as well.
Lomax, if we were talking 10 weeks ago and you hadn't said Lomax, I would have backhanded you, but now you're absolutely correct.
Has to be Kyle Feldt.
He's been tremendous.
He's second in the tries for the year. Heaps of run meters. 32 years old. Awesome. I like it. But I'm an unabashed. Like if I had to put Terry's thug team that he absolutely loves and adores over the years, Kyle Feldt would probably be in there and captain.
Yep. No, look,
maybe not captain, but he would definitely be in there.
He'd be vice. Look, I'm not gonna go swinging at you. I think Kiraz will get it.
Because you couldn't.
That too. But I think Kiraz will get it. What about your centres?
Stephen Crichton.
Yeah.
Undeniable. And Jesse Ramian.
Okay, I'll go Herbie Farnworth.
No, Herbie Farnworth had a great back end to the year. Did nothing for 20 weeks.
Look again. No argument there. What about 5'8"? This could start some arguments.
Right, 3 weeks ago I said Matt Burton. And I said that he was a smoky to win the Dally M.
Incorrect.
It's Tom Dearden.
Yeah, except he. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to argue, but I can't.
Yeah. I think Tom Dearden's leapfrogged Matt Burton now. I think for a long period there, like the same 6 to 8 weeks that we were talking about for Kiraz, Burton was awesome. But looking at it, I think Dearden.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to throw something up. Dearden was my pick too, but I'd like the Munster didn't play enough games. Luai,
It would have been Trindle if he hadn't had 8 weeks
I was going to
off.
say Trindle's probably not a bad shout, but look,
Jerome Luai, but he's played a lot more 7 than 6 this year.
No, look, that's complete. I think the halfback's easy. That's Jerome Hughes.
Yeah, it's Jerome Hughes.
It's not even
close.
I think up front.
This is where I think it's going to get a bit tricky because I'm going to pick 2 props that didn't make the finals.
Adam Fanua-Blake for me.
And Joseph Tarpany.
Yeah, Tarpany's been outstanding. It's hard to pick one better than that. Look, it depends where you're going to put Carrigan.
I'm not.
No. If he's as a prop, maybe he pinches it, but I think
But he's had 13 all year.
Look, Tarpany works for me too. I can't name many.
You're 9?
Better. Number 9, on paper, you got to go Blake Brayley.
I think they're going to go Reece Robson.
Well, yeah.
If you were going the Dally M week 1 hooker of the competition, it was Harry Grant. I don't think Harry Grant had a good enough.
No, he's the best hooker in the competition.
He is the best hooker in the competition by far. It's the same as Nathan Cleary's the best number 7 in the competition, but he's not going to win it.
No, that's fair.
I think I would love to see Blake Brayley get it because he's had a good end to the year. I just think Reece Robson's going to get it overall.
Hey, look, no arguments there. What about second row?
Eli Katoa.
Yep.
And Angus Crichton.
I think you're right. I think Nicker's going to miss out.
I think Nicker's going to miss out again.
And what about the lock?
Oh, Isaiah.
Yeah, look, I think he's the easiest one of them all.
Yeah. Coach of the year?
Look, I'll lock in Bellamy.
I'll lock in
I
Bellamy.
don't think you can win the minor premiership by so far ahead of this Penrith side and not get that.
Yep.
And what about rookie of the year?
Captain of the year first.
Yeah, captain of the year.
Who are you going to go, Captain?
Who's Melbourne's captain?
Stephen Crichton.
Well, see, Harry Grant can't win it, can he?
I'm going to go Stephen Crichton.
Yeah, I love what I've seen from Crichton. That's a great shout.
Yeah, I think the best captain in the competition is Isaiah, but I think this year from where the Bulldogs have come from to where they've finished, and he's a first-year captain, I'm going to give it to Stephen Crichton this year.
And your rookie of the year? Has to be Kailira.
Yeah, look, I'll hear a shout for Ethan Strange, but he didn't finish the year all that well.
Dropped.
Blaze Talangi, no. Now, it should be Lachlan Galvin.
Yeah.
But again, I'll still fight you on this because rookie of the year isn't about your fancy plays and everything. It's about what's the rookie that comes in and contributes to your team winning. And Lachlan Galvin took the Tigers from 17th to 17th. Kailiro took the Sharks from losing to the Tigers by 26 points to go on an 8-game winning streak. It's Kailiro.
Of course it is.
I'll hear an argument for Lehi Hopewadi as well. But it's Kailiro. Dan?
Talk to me, Terry.
It's time for some top sport tips.
You'll be ulti.
Less and less games.
Yep. I think I got 4 last week.
You did? Yeah, I picked different to you twice.
Yay! Finally, a perfect round. Perfect round's worth 86 points. Did I forget to tell you that?
Yeah, but we're not doing anything for the finals.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Fair.
I don't deserve it.
Friday night
Yeah.
at Shark Park or Combank or Allianz
Been locked in.
or somewhere. It's been locked in at Allianz. The Sharks taking on the North Queensland Cowboys. Both teams on a 6-day turnaround.
Yep.
Both teams have to travel.
Yep. We're almost as far. If it had been Combank, it would have been further.
We went to Melbourne. They've got to come from Townsville to Sydney.
That's true. Yeah, a lot of carry on though. People go, no, it's only 45 minutes. No, it's 45 minutes at 11 o'clock at night when I took the screenshot.
Yeah.
On Friday afternoon, it's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Plus, you got to forget, a lot of people work in the city, Terry. And getting to Combank or going to Allianz is a world of different. The NRL have made the only decision. I don't care about the Swans. They moved the game to Sunday last week for the GWS. They had like 4,000 fans stand up, and there were like 250 people at 30 seconds to Mars. Stop looking at other things. NRL first. I think it's great. I'm tipping the Cowboys because tipping the Sharks did not work this week.
Look, I'm going to hope to all buggery that the Sharks win, but I'm going to pick the Cowboys as well. And Saturday night, where's this game being played?
This one's actually at Allianz.
This one is actually at Allianz.
What if the Roosters had said we want to go to a call?
I don't think their 10 fans would have liked it.
No, they wouldn't have. Both of them would have been very upset.
Yeah.
They still won't turn up for this one.
No, this is going to be an absolute cracker of a game. Manly will give themselves every opportunity of this. Look, Turbo looked busted,
Yeah, he did.
right? But he's there.
Yep.
And he makes all the world of difference because even a busted Turbo had a big hand in the Cooler try.
Yep.
And he had a big hand in the Daly Cherry Evans try. And he's just there.
Genius.
And the great players at this point in the year are busted. Nathan Cleary is busted. Cameron Munster can barely walk. Yep. Jerome Hughes, like, I'd be surprised if that guy can get out of bed.
Yeah.
The way that he just gets bashed around the field. He's there. And I give Manly every opportunity to beat the Roosters. And I'm going to pick Manly to win this game.
I think Manly get them. I want to go different, but I can't. I think Manly get them. I tipped them last week against the Dogs. I think they got more big game players. Fully fit. I think the Roosters pants them.
Yeah.
And paintbrush them. Someone asked me, what's paintbrush? Paintbrush them, back of the head. Disrespectful. I think they paintbrush them in their own thing, and I think both Roosters fans get very upset. Cock a hoop, dare I say.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by the good people at Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe. These shows are getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, but we ain't going anywhere.
No, we'll be here during a lot of the off-season, if not all of it.
Yeah.
You'll be sick of us, if you're not already.
Yeah.
We got some ideas.
Lots of ideas.
Some of them are even good ideas.
Yeah, some of them are Dan's ideas and the rest of them will be great from me.
Rugby League!